Okay, Sunday morning. Made it back from the anniversary party. I've got some plastic here that Mary Green brought me. I'm going to cut skid plates out today and get on the scrambler. And then unfortunately, Josh has some reprogramming of some stuff. I'm not sure exactly what, but tomorrow is the only day I have to do it. So I'm gonna get up at 2 in the morning tomorrow and haul butt to California so he can program and change some stuff and then come right back so I can get back to work. I've got my skid plate up here. I'm gonna have a little bit of hanging over on each end. Actually, I need to shift it just a little bit and then I'll do this cut. I had it laser cut close to the right dimension so I don't have so much cutting. And then I'll take the transfer punch set, transfer my holes, and get it on there. Whoopsies. Tracing 1/4 inch bigger all the way around on the sides. I got the bottom one on there and the other side on there. So it's actually working out pretty good. Let me show you what it looks like. They went on very nicely. I love these. Skid plates are all on. Now I got this rear seat. I've got the tubes in there, but I never did build the mount. I just had the seat sitting in there. So what I'm gonna do is take 4 straps across and weld them on, and then that seat will bolt to this, and hopefully it goes in very nice. We'll see. Start by taking the tube out of there, and then I'll shear these, 4 of these at 16.5, and I'm gonna spot them on there where I think they need to be onto this tube, because that's gonna, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have one strap coming from the bottom and going to the top, so it puts the seat on a 1 inch angle, lift in the front, and that should make it pretty comfortable. And the right angle of the seat, I think. So let me shear these and get some measurements on this tube. Here's the straps that I'm mounting to, so it should be fairly simple. Okay, I got 4 pieces cut for each one of them straps. I drew a center line all the way across my tube. I know it's kind of hard to see because it's black. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spot these on here square like that. Each one of them up against that line. And then once I get them spotted on there, then I'll take this and repin it into the back of the tub. And then we'll set down on top of this and I can spot them. I can't spot underneath and I don't wanna burn my floor up real bad, so I'm gonna do this on the table and then I'll put it in here and do this, and I'll get a fire blanket and throw down. Should work out good, provided my measurements are somewhat correct. Then I can get it spotted perfectly where them pins are all lined up and everything. Now you see what I'm talking about? Now everything should be perfect. I can just go ahead and get in here and spot that real good, and then I'll pull all that framework out and weld it, and then I'll unpin it. Got my pins in there, and I'll bolt it to the bottom of that frame, hopefully. Okay, I got my fire blanket in here and one back here to kind of just cover the fuel tank. Now I'm going to spot these real quick. Sitting on here. Now I just got to mark the center of them nut holes. Drilling. And I believe we can put it in there and test it. And then the next thing would be, I'll put eyelets on here for the seat belt. Now we will just put the line all the way across there. And I'm going to drill these, bolt it up. Luckily, I can center punch these and just punch it on the hole punch. I won't be drilling. Be nice. See if we can see if she lines up somewhat. We hope. That one's good. Let's start with the outer ones first. Oh. That one's good. Man, I love it when my measurements actually work and I'm not trying to hog a bunch of holes in, making things work. Oh boy, that one's tight. No, they're a little bit. Just the middle ones, I got 4 in it. So we'll check it, I guess, before we get carried away and see if I need to make any modifications or if I'm somewhat close. See how simple that is though? I really like how it mounts, and now I just got to see if it fits in there. Well, I had a little malfunction on my design because I tapered these in just a little too much. I didn't think about it. This speaker box being in here, usually I got a lot more room to pivot that seat in here with the frame. But unfortunately, you can see where I scratched it right here. It hits like I need to shorten it an inch or something. So I had to split the frame so my quick pins aren't so quick anymore, because I have to put the framework in there, then I have to put the seat in there, and then put the bolts in underneath, which isn't bad. Took me a couple of minutes, but it's so much nicer when you can just unpin that and you don't have to get in there. Pretty bummed about that. If I'd have thought about it, I'd have taken these headrests off. It's just the way that it pivots in. I need to raise it up to get it to go in. So, what a bummer. I just had that all redone too, and it'd be nicer to have low back seats back there anyway. Back to the drawing board. Damn it. Oh well. She's gonna have to do for Sand Hollow. And not that we're really gonna be hauling anyone around. Probably should just leave them here. LOL. Put my cooler back there. Getting all the junk out, just checking everything, making sure everything's good. Got the new transmission in the Land Cruiser last week. We're taking all 3 of these to Trail Heroes, so should be a good time playing around. it up so we can leave for California early in the morning. It needs some self-tying down straps. You just throw it on there and it ties itself up. Check out the new 20s for the 42s over there. They'll go on for Trail Hero and whenever we go wheeling.
They're big.
Does the boss approve of these?
I like them. They're big.
Vision. Oh, big.
Bigger is better.
Yeah.
It's true.
Is that why you married me?
Duh.
But you're making me shrink?
Just in your weight.
Oh boy.
And
then you tell me, oh no, you need to be 20 pounds heavier.
I want you to
She
gain
can't
weight.
make up her mind.
Whatever, look it, I'm gonna feed you some chicken.
Oh, that's right. Feed me my kind. Get busy making my dinner while I get these out. Love you. Holy smoke-olies, look at the difference. That's a big tire. Hopefully the old scrambler has enough gonads to pull it. I'm gonna mount one up and see what she looks like. Now that's a big ass tire. Look at how much bigger it is. You can't really. Hopefully they're clear. My measurements say they will, but obviously you guys have seen me measure, so I've been wrong before. I hope I'm right. But I need a couple more valve stems to get the other two mounted. So we'll do that when I get back from California, and then we'll get that thing and mount them and see how badass it looks. And I know it's gonna help. It's a 120-inch wheelbase. So I made it pretty low to keep the links flat so the drivability was good. It's like 17.5 to the belly with 40s, so I'm guaranteeing I at least gain another inch. So I love it. Can't wait. Little pre-trip, make sure my tires got air in them. Time to hit the road. 10 in the morning. Headed to FTA to get the Jeep all tuned up. Get some updates on the stuff. That's the highway. Are we there yet? Getting tired. We got here about 9:30 this morning. Josh is getting it hooked up to the dyno. He's gonna do some fuel pump updates and stuff. This is the direct injected motor, and I don't understand much of it, but he's changing some of the program in it, and then he's gonna work on the dash. He has a bunch more stuff to do for the dash that we didn't have time because we were in such a hurry to go to Rubicon. So getting some shit done. I was gonna show him how to do that, but I don't even know how to turn that on. I can barely start the car. Well, leaving FTA, Josh got all the little things that we needed to do before we go to Trail Hero. The injection pump in the valley on the motor, there's a driver for it, and there's all kinds of different little settings and stuff for making it work, and that was one of the reasons, the starting of it. There was just, I don't even know how to explain it, but basically he did a bunch of little computer work in there, and it starts up nice now, so pretty excited about that. And then he's working on making a new dash program for it. He wants just to kind of get a background for it, and then he's gonna build a bunch of stuff and send it to me on a little chip, and we'll plug it in, and all the dash stuff will be better programmed. Right now it's just got like a quickie setup in it where you can read things, but there's a lot more to actually read. He can put a picture behind the dash or whatever. He can pretty much make it do whatever he wants. It's pretty crazy. But they knocked that thing out. I hung out there for a little while and watched them, and then I went and got me what I call a 90-minute nap. I went and got me a massage and a taco and came back, and he had it ready, so I'm on the way home. I should be fresh enough to make it all the way. Another long day, but we're on our way home. That's the good thing. Get some sleep and start cleaning up cars, getting ready for the car show this weekend. And then we leave Sunday for Trail Hero. Well, we made it to Holbrook. It's 9:30. Got about another 40 minutes to the house. Hopefully we don't catch the train here like we always do. Well, looks like we're gonna make it without catching a train. I couldn't even catch the bus when I was a kid. Oh, look, there it was. We just made it. I don't know about you, but I'm ready for bed. I've been up for 20 hours driving, working, whatever you call it. I'm up to the good old Ace. Just needed squirrel food. And I got me some orange
Then you
slices.
better not let it slide out of the back when you drive.
I drive good, dear. My grandpa used to get these when I was a kid.
Mine too.
I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything today. I got home late last night with the scrambler, and I went up to, I was gonna work on it and do some stuff, and I went to fire it up and it wouldn't start. That DI fuel pump failed on me again, and there's a lot of little programming issues and stuff. Anyways, I'm waiting for Josh to give me a call so he can hook up to it and see what the hell. But meanwhile, I got these little lights to put in here. These are the factory turn signal lights for this year Jeep, and the radiator's kind of close to it, so I'm going to use the grommet where I had some trailer lights in here when I had it, and that's going to space it out just a little bit. Going to look a little redneck, but that's too bad. Anyways, the hole was bigger than these, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hole saw a piece for a back piece, and then I'll put a smaller hole in it for this, and then it'll kind of pinch it between the grill. I guess I'll show you.
Here we are with a little more prep for Trail Hero. And I think Emerald is the supervisor. You supervising, huh? Shannon's on the phone with Josh. Pulled some logs. Not sure what else is up, but anyway, we've got the best supervisor in the house.
So Josh, I don't understand this stuff, but he's downloading the logs, and he thinks there's something wrong with the firmware because it's throwing air, which randomly makes the DI driver, which is the direct injection pump in the valley, go to fault mode and it won't fire. So lots of stuff I don't understand. That's why I let the professionals do it. And there's my professional over there. You need to come back over here and
He's right here.
be in charge.
He's thinking about a nap though.
Oh, what about me? I like to take naps. All right, well, he's downloading that and stuff. He don't need me for about 15 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and get my light bracket done. Okay, I'm gonna stay busy doing some stuff I know how to do, making holes and shit. I'm good at this. Anything to do with computers? Nah. Then we're gonna go to the next size down. Smaller hole. This will be for the light to pass through. Of it running. He's kind of trying to troubleshoot it, but he's going to call the guys that actually do the firmware and stuff. He's going to get some logs for them to look at. Let it run for a couple of minutes. He's thinking maybe when it's not running, there's like a fault on the amperage on the injector because it's giving an injector error. So, a bunch of stuff I don't know nothing about. Let's get back to what I do know. All right, I got me some marks on here for my studs. Then we'll punch it. That's for these two studs. So this will go through there, bam, like so. So let's go over here and we will punch these bad boys out. So this is how this will go, like so. It's just like a big washer that kind of holds it into the grill because the hole's too big. Well, check that out. Got my new turn signals in there. I left the grommets in there and made my little washer. It doesn't look too bad, but it's because the holes were already too big for what we had. And literally, we just unhooked the car out there on the trailer and Josh called me back. He goes, I think I might have found it. There's a threshold or something in like fuel rail pressure when it's certain, I don't know. I'm not even gonna try and explain it because I don't know if I can. But anyways, I'm gonna bring it back in here. He's gonna change something. We'll try it again in the morning and see if it fires up. And he's also gonna send that logs off to the people and ask them to. Okay. Go ahead.
So what I noticed was when it wouldn't start, it was only during the times that our pulse width was super high on the commanded cranking. And then there was a physical tech note out on the firmware for the direct injected driver on if we were meeting or exceeding the limits, it would shut everything off. But they had a bug where the limits were, even though we had them set to the maximum limit, it was putting a cap on it and it was shutting it off. So, and the how it was kind of running out of fuel and still spitting and sputtering.
Yeah.
It was physically allowing us to do all the low side pulse widths, from where before it would come down to a certain point and then just shut off because it would error out.
Okay.
So now it was physically pulsing the whole time.
Nice.
So that's where, let me show you. I'll open that back up, and I'll just leave it offline. So what I found, and I saw that in the logs, it would trip it when the pulse width would go up that high. And that makes sense, because once it's warm, it doesn't ever require that amount of pulse width. And if there's fuel pressure there, it doesn't ever require that amount of pulse width. So in the previous firmware, these two settings right here were bugged, and it would cap this one lower than 65, and it would cap this one higher than, right now we have it set at 5.
Okay.
So, and that's where that little spitting, like how it'll actually try and run now with no fuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
it acts like it's running out of fuel instead of just shutting right off. Yeah.
Yep. So before it would hit these thresholds which weren't accurate, and then it would just shut off and error out.
That's
and
crazy.
Now, yeah, well, I mean, it's just evolution of a product. You know what I mean?
How come it didn't give us trouble when we went to Rubicon?
It never freaking primed down, or it never got to that temperature range where it was throwing that high a pulse width.
I guess I got lucky.
Yeah, no, that's what it looks like. Like if this totally solves it, that's what it is. But the note here, I'll show you the note that I found, and the tech ticket. I was like, fuck it, I'll just go look at the forum where they'll post up if there is any kind of issues with any of the firmwares. And let me find. It's not the DI driver one. It is. Where is it? There it is, right there. So changelog in the white client. So this is what flashes it. So they added support for the driver, but there's actually a tech note when you go to update the firmware about the mismatch in the. Hang on just a second, I'll show you. Let me just grab the link. Oops, that is not it. So I'm hoping that's what they're going to tell me in the email, which they probably will. There it is right there. All right, cool. I found the link. So this is what I found, which just actually shows it went up 5 days ago. Right here. Fix a bug that causes injection duration. Right there.
Right on. Well, you can tell it already just fires right up a lot faster.
Yeah, it's like instant.
Yeah.
It doesn't give a shit. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like instant. Before it would crank like 3 revolutions maybe. All right. Well, I sure appreciate your time, Josh.
Yeah, no problem. Hold on, let me save some shit real quick.
Well, now that she's running good again and starting, we'll find out in the morning when we go to fire it. Everything's good, but I'm almost positive it will. I can just tell the way things are working now, and he explained it to me, and it makes sense. Not that I still understand a lot of it, but I do some. So tomorrow we'll get all the bugs off of it from dragging it over to California and whatnot, and get this cleaned up, get the 42s on the scrambler for Trail Hero, and then I got to get a hold of Corey and see how the bumper's coming, make sure it's coming up. And I got some other things coming for this. I got a Bluetooth switch and some speakers I want to get put in it, but just lots of dumb things. And Zeb showed up with the rear axle. He brought a 14 bolt up for the Chevy truck that we're gonna be doing a bunch of work on. So getting things in order. When I get back from Trail Hero, I'm gonna have a whole lot to do. You have to let me know what you think of these. I like them. They're what was supposed to be in it from the get-go, and I just didn't try finding them when I put it together, but I'm loving it.